I hope you
Yes,
don't
sir.
mind. I do want to get a bit into these Intel Celeron computers.
Yes, sir. Yes,
with
sir.
no prejudice to the findings and with all due respect to whatever investigations will find. And also to stress, this is not this administration. This happened in the last administration. But
Yes, sir.
just the question of, because former Secretary Briones said, if I read that right, that this is not actually a DepEd issue. It is the procurement service of the DBM that's accountable here. I just want to know what the attitude of the current administration is to that point. Where is the accountability on something like this? Is it with the Department of Education, or is it with the procurement service of the DBM? And then I guess ikabit ko na yung question, whatever the protocols for that is, does that carry over to this current administration, and therefore, how do we make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So yes, this happened during the previous administration because this happened, the procurement was done in 2021. That being said, this administration will still have to respond to the AOM. So it's not like we can, of course, it's easy for us to say dating administration po yan. But we're talking about the institution here, which is the Department of Education. So we will be the ones responding pa rin po to the AOMs. Right now, if I may just give you the facts para mas clear po tayo. The AOM was issued sometime March 2022. The Department of Education actually responded to that AOM back in May 2022. Kasi ang dun po sa AOM, they were requiring the Department of Education to submit documents as to the pricing, as to the technical specs, as to what transpired during the procurement. So what the Department of Education, from my understanding, has submitted to COA would be the documents pertaining to the transfer of funds. Why the transfer of funds? Because the funds used here po were from Bayanihan 2. This was not an original program or project of the Department of Education. From Bayanihan 2, there was a laptop for teacher campaign, no? Because we needed to provide our teachers with a laptop since COVID was here and we were into remote instruction, basically. So remote learning. So ito pong funds napunta po sa DepEd because, as we all know, the Bayanihan funds had like a timeline that we had to complete all the projects. So ito pong DepEd spoke to DBMPS, or PSDBM, because it was their expertise pagdating sa procurement. We transferred the funds to PSDBM for the procurement. So the AOM, as to the pricing, as to these documents, kulang pa po siguro yung responses namin sa Department of Education. So right now, we are coordinating with COA. We have already written COA a letter saying that we will add on to the previous responses and supply the necessary documents. The documents po kasi are with PSDBM since they were the procuring entity. So we have also written, yesterday, we have written PSDBM formally with their new administration, who is also very cooperative, and we are asking them to give us these documents pertaining to the procurement, as to the pricing, as to the specs, as to what really transpired. And once we have those documents, we will then submit those documents po to COA. It's an AOM, it's just an audit observation memorandum, which government agencies get all the time, but we have to be able to justify why the price was such or why the technical specs were such. And in doing so, we're hoping that the AOM will be terminated. But at this point in time, I won't be able to really tell you, sir, if okay na to lahat, because again, we don't have the documents yet. But rest assured that we are closely coordinating with both agencies, and both agencies are very receptive naman po.